How's it going, you two? And roll tide. Well, week 3 of the 2025 college football season is finally in the books. And my Tide defeated the Wisconsin Badgers 38-14. Well, I seen a lot of improvement. It was great, man. And my quarterback, Ty Simpson, keeps getting better and better. I mean, he was throwing dots in this game. He had a great game. And I hope he keeps improving, man. Although he's about the best you can get. The accuracy, man, is crazy. Speaking of which, see, he had in this game, Ty Simpson had 382 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, and he completed, 24 of 29 of his passes. It's totally amazing, man. I knew 2 years ago when I saw him in the A-Day game, just the way he played and the way he threw, I knew he was going to be good. I kept telling people he was going to be good. But you know how all the naysayers are. And so far, he's been doing good, and I hope he keeps proving me right. And I don't know, it's just something about him when I saw him play. I knew, when the first time I saw him play in that A-Day game 2 years ago, I knew he was going to be good. All right, now, let's move on to the rest of the team. Let's see. And Ryan Williams, although, yes, I seen some bit of improvement out of him, but still dropped a wide open touchdown pass. Come on, Hollywood. I know we had Wisconsin well in hand by then, but man, you gotta think about it whenever we get in them close games, you know. A drop touchdown pass like that can make a difference between us winning and losing, especially in a couple of weeks when we go play Georgia on the road. Man, we're gonna have to be almost perfect in that game. Although from what I saw, they got a weak offense, but we're getting that for another video. Anyways, let's see. Ryan Williams, he caught, what was it? He caught 5 passes for 2 touchdowns, and how many yards does that say? 165 yards. Like I said, he's done better than he did in the past 2 weeks. But by him dropping that touchdown pass, also messed with Ty Simpson's stats. He could have had 5 touchdowns, but he still did good with having 4 touchdown passes. He still did good with his stats, but I still like for him to have that 5th touchdown. But it's like they say, can't cry over spilled milk. It's happened, it's done. But he needs to get better because 2 weeks we're playing Georgia, and we can't have nobody dropping passes in the game of that caliber. And it's going to be a little rough being on the road. And let me see what else. And the defense, I was impressed with what I seen the defense. Kane Wommack, man, you up and down, man. For once, you finally dialing in blitzes. You dialing up blitzes. And we wind up getting, 2-3 sacks in a row. I believe it was 3. I know it was 2, but if I remember correctly, wound up getting 3 sacks in a row, man. That's what I'm talking about. Although I would prefer you put more beef on the line, more defensive linemen instead of blitzing with mostly linebackers and DBs. But hey, at least you dialed up some more blitzes. But there's one thing. But before I go on, get into anything else, speaking of defense, Bray Herbert. He was hustling in this game, man. Just about everywhere the ball was, he was there. And he also had 2 interceptions. But like I said, anywhere the ball was, he was in there, in on it, making a tackle. Bray Herbert, he made up for that Florida State game. He hustled a lot in this one. See, what else was I going to touch on here? Let's see. And Jeremy Bernard. He had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So, which we know Jimmy Bernard's been doing good all season, If you ask me, he's the leading receiver. I know you hear some of the experts saying Ryan Williams is the leading receiver. No, it's Jeremy Bernard. He's doing the best out of all of them. Don't get me wrong, the other guys are doing good. Isaiah Horton, He got him another touchdown pass in this game. But there's one thing I would like to see from an offense is more running, not just 2 or 3 runs on every drive. Mix it up. Try to mix the plays up a little bit better. What was his name? Ryan Grubb. You need to mix the plays up a little bit better, man. Instead of just doing 2, 3 runs max each drive, and they all the same, right up the middle, man. Let me tell you something. Riley, he's more of an outside runner. You need to bounce it to the outside and give him the ball more. Maybe they do. I'm hoping when Jam Miller comes back, they do a little more. They do more rushing plays because against a good team, we can't just keep passing. Although Ty's doing a good job at it, we just can't pass it every time. We just need. I wish they add some more running plays because especially when we get in the SEC play, we're gonna need to run the ball some more. And let's see what else was I gonna touch on. See. Now, let's see. Oh, as far as the defense, you can tell they're playing a little bit better. They only allowed 7 points, even though Wisconsin scored 14. But the defense itself only allowed 7 because Wisconsin scored 1 touchdown on the kick return on special teams. But the defense, I would like for them to see have more beef on the line, heavier defensive linemen. And another thing, Overton got hurt, and I hope it's not serious. Does anybody know if it's serious? I ain't heard anything else about it. We got 2 weeks till we play Georgia, so he should be back for that game. I'm hoping he is. Let's see what else was I going to do. Let's see. Well, let's see. As far as total yards, Alabama had 382 total passing yards. What was it? How many rushing yards they had? 92 rushing yards. And Wisconsin had, 117 passing yards and 72 rushing yards. But I don't know how to keep stressing this. I wish Alabama needs to rush the ball more. They really do. And like I said earlier, Ty Simpson, man, keep up the good work. He keeps getting better every game. And I enjoy watching him play. I mean, this game, he was throwing dots. What did I say? He completed what? What was it I said he completed? How many passes did he complete? Let's see. 24 of 29. Should have been 25 of 29, but I already talked about that. Ryan Williams dropping a touchdown pass. Oh, yeah, I mean to bring this up too. I'm sorry I didn't make a pregame video for the Alabama-Wisconsin game. Me and my wife kind of got tied up. We was a little busy. And to be honest, I really don't like doing pregame videos. My thing about that is, instead of me doing like these other fan bases, which don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. Me personally, instead of running my mouth talking about what we're going to do or what I think we're going to do, I'd rather for my team to do my talking on the field for me. That's why I'm not too big on pregame videos. I'm still going to do some pregame videos, for certain games. I'm just not big on it because instead of me running my mouth and talking and say my team's going to do this or do that, I like for my team to do the talking on the field. And they sure enough did the talking this week against Wisconsin. And I'm proud of the guys. Especially proud of how our defense stepped up. Finally got some sacks in. But I just hope Kane Womack don't move away from that again and go back to doing what he was doing, because it wasn't working. Down nothing blitzes made a big improvement. And that's why Wisconsin only got 1 touchdown on them. That and Bray Hubbard was all over the field like a damn madman. Which there ain't nothing wrong with that, But I am extremely proud of Ty Simpson. If I remember correctly, from Well, if I heard correctly, he's leading the SEC in passing all around. Yards and percentage. He's leading the SEC in passing. So, but we're going to see how he does against Georgia. And so far, man, he's gotten better throwing under pressure. And I hope he can continue that against Georgia. Well, and I hope our line blocks better too. Our offensive line, they're going to have to block a little better than what they're doing when we play Georgia. You know, don't get me wrong, Ty's a good scrambler and all, man, but there's only so much he can do. He's going to need some help. And that's why Ryan Grubb also need to call more running plays. You know, bounce some to the outside. You know, you just can't put it all on the quarterback's shoulders. And that's pretty much what you're doing when you're passing 90% of your plays. You can't do that, man. That's putting it on one man's shoulders. That's putting too much pressure on him. I guarantee you, if you give Ty Simpson some help, he can do even better. And he'll probably do some things that will amaze you. But I want to get back to Ryan Williams. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or nothing. Like I said earlier, man, he's gotten better. But the drop passes, it's got to stop. Because that's going to matter against an important team, like the team we play in 2 weeks. And especially on up, and when we get on up in SEC play. You know, there's going to come a game where one touchdown may be the difference in the game. You drop a touchdown and you drop that touchdown pass, that can cost us the game. And one more other thing, I know it ain't about Alabama, but the Tennessee and Georgia game. What happened, Vols? Y'all almost had them, man. Y'all were the better team. Man, y'all just dropped the ball on this one. Come on, man. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Tennessee by no means, but I don't think I can dislike anybody more than I do Georgia and Auburn. Their fan bases, man, always crying about something and never can keep Alabama out of their mouth, man. Like I had some Georgia fans come, like there was a post about how good Ty Simpson did. Some Georgia fans talking about, oh, you wouldn't play in no real team. Commenting on the Alabama page, man. Damn, the jealousy is real with them Georgia fans. That's why, with them Georgia fans and them Auburn fans, that's why I look forward to the annual Georgia and Auburn matchup. Because one of them's going to lose. That's what I love about that game. I also got a name for that game because both fan bases are such big crybabies. I call the annual Georgia and Auburn matchup the Crybaby Bowl. Because both fan bases are the two biggest crybabies in the SEC and probably all of college football. But damn, Tennessee, you had them, man. Y'all need to fire that damn kicker. Y'all freaking had them, man. But for some reason, under the second half, y'all's defense started letting up. Damn. Personally, you know, I don't have nothing against Georgia, the team itself. I just don't like the fans. I really don't. And that's a bonus. Whenever they lose, I get to rub it in their faces, especially at work. Because unfortunately, because of my job, for the last 10 years, I've been living in North Georgia. and it's awesome when Alabama beats them. I drive around with Alabama flags flying and Alabama decals all over my car. It's hilarious. That's why I hope my Tide gets us a victory in 2 weeks. Because they don't, I had to hear the shit. Which, that's been a while since, last time I had to hear anything was back in 2021? Although, we know when they won that championship in 2021. We know and they know, everybody knows, but they won't admit it, but hell, they still won the national championship, even though it was handed to them, but hey, it is what it is, man. But I'm hoping my Tide can do what Tennessee I hope my Tide can do in 2 weeks what Tennessee couldn't do this past week. Let's see, is there anything else I got to touch on? But anyways, once again, thanks for watching. And as always, God bless and roll Tide.